Excellent.
They can say what they want, only makes us stronger. Take us straight to the top. Use the hate to launch us.
Let's go, it's been building up like an architect. Lights are sparking, next thing you know, starts to manifest. Getting out of control, becoming an animal, all of its own.
Welcome back to DwreckTV. I'm Dwreck, and it is day 7 of ranking Bound for Glories. I know I missed out on it yesterday because me and my wife had went to Baton Rouge to watch Pro Wrestling 225's lead commentator Landon Corbin and his debut play, and that was really good stuff. So if y'all ever have local theaters and they have plays and such things like that, y'all should go support them. Support your local arts and theaters, do all that good stuff. But today, being day 7 to ranking Bound for Glories, I'm beat. I'm tired. I'm done. Let's get through this day, shall we? And this era of Bound for Glories is the Switch era. This was during a time when, like I said, I was fully invested with New Japan and Ring of Honor, and even being the Elite, all leading up to All Elite Wrestling's formation, and even Pro Wrestling 225. And it was also during the time of midway through, it was the pandemic, and then after the pandemic and such. And this was during a time when TNA was renamed to Impact Wrestling. First, it was Global Force with Jeff Jarrett. It was going to be renamed to Global Force, and then that fell through with Jeff Jarrett, and then they just renamed back to Impact. But during this time, Impact Wrestling was just, they didn't know what they wanted. They just kept bringing in stars after stars, and they had some good matches. I started watching Impact like little by little. I wasn't watching it every week, but when Bound for Glory was on, or when a pay-per-view was on, I would catch them. And it was like they just couldn't keep a roster. They couldn't keep a top guy. They was always leaving. He was always going elsewhere, or it was just a mess. And let's start things off with Bound for Glory 2017. The first Bound for Glory from Canada, which was actually a good show. It really was a good show, despite what many so-called journalists want to say the show sucked and this and that. You need to shut the fuck up. But it was enjoyable. The main event being
Eli Drake
fighting Johnny Mundo was a really good main event until it was brought to shit by Alberto El Patron. Great match, brought to shit, but where would I rank it? If it wasn't for that, it would get a solid 8. It was a really good show, but I would give it a high B. A high B show. It just ended like shit. Next is Bound for Glory 2018. This one was good too. It really was. But it was also during this time as well that the commentary team with Josh Matthews, he was absolute shit. He really was. Like, he was insufferable. That son of a bitch right there was insufferable. But other than that, the main event being Austin Aries fighting Johnny Mundo, that was good until Austin Aries did what he did. Yeah, that was like, what a piece of shit that guy is. But I would give this one I'd give it a B. It was a good show, but it wasn't really that memorable. But yeah. Then we go to Bound for Glory 2019. Good stuff. This is also during a time when AEW was just coming up and everything. But Impact Wrestling, they was just still pushing on. Like the main event being Brian Cage versus Sami Callihan was damn good. And especially Sami Callihan, this motherfucker here is a maniac. We're talking like New Jack levels of maniacism. But where would I put Bound for Glory 2019? Not very memorable like the others because of this Impact. But I give it a high B as well. Still good, still a good show. It's just whatever. And Bound for Glory 2020. This took place in that new Impact zone called the Skyway Studios. I think it's called. But it was behind closed doors for obvious reasons, because of the freaking pandemic. But the main event was Showtime Eric Young fighting Rich Swann. Rich Swann is not a world champion. Rich Swann is an X Division dude at best. And Showtime Eric Young, despite his history with TNA, him being a world champion is almost like one of them. It's very complicated with Showtime Eric Young being a world champion. But the whole card was good, especially with the Good Brothers and seeing Brian Myers and everything. And Moose was good. But Bound for Glory 2020 as it is, where would I rank it? I don't know, man. Like, Rich Swann being a world champion is just not something that you would do. That gives a C. That's the show itself, not the other circumstances that they didn't have a crowd. But yeah, Rich Swann was not a world champion. Bound for Glory 2021. This one was alright. I remember watching it. And then the main event of being Christian Cage facing Josh Alexander. Christian Cage, an AEW star who hasn't been in TNA since like 2008, and he's defending the title against a former tag team champion, the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander's good, but I don't know. I don't really see him as a world champion for TNA, you know? Like, maybe he could have been in the early days of TNA, but just seeing him now, especially him just coming off of being from a tag team with Ethan Page called The North, and now seeing him as a world champion is like, I don't know. Like, some guys are just destined to be a tag champion or like a US champion level. Josh Alexander, I can't really see him as a world champion. And that's not a knock on him. But I would knock on this pay-per-view because a good match brought the shit again when Josh Alexander won, and then Moose comes out and beats him within like a few minutes. Like, what the fuck? For that alone, I would give that a D. Was that because the way it ended. But a good show too, but what are you gonna do? It's Impact Wrestling. Next is gonna be Bound for Glory 2022. This one again, it was alright. It really was alright. And the main event being Josh Alexander fighting Die Hard Eddie Edwards. These two guys, I can't really see them as a world champion. Like, why are y'all pushing these guys? It's like, what's going on here? I know y'all want to push new stars and everything, but y'all gotta push the right stars. Eddie Edwards, he was great for Ring of Honor, and he's great as a tag team from the American Wolves. He's good as an X Division guy. Josh Alexander, I think they're trying to push him as the next, like, Kurt Angle style. But it's just, especially during this time with AEW being on the rise, especially because of their shit with CM Punk. and even having MLW and the NWA and Pro Wrestling 225. It's just like everything's just getting piled on each other. Everything's just getting piled up. But as far as Bound for Glory itself, I give it a high C. Another high C. And then next we're going to go into Bound for Glory 2023. This one was actually good. It really was good. The whole night was really good. And the main event being Alex Shelley fighting Josh Alexander. Again, Alex Shelley being the world champion is like one of them things where it's like, what's going on here? But I understand with Alex Shelley because he's been there for like the longest time on and off. I remember seeing him with TNA back in 2004 when he was a young'un. Then doing the Paparazzi Productions, and then him and Chris Sabin starting the Motor City Machine Guns, one of my favorite tag teams, on and off. Then he goes to New Japan and starts the Time Splitters with Kushida. Then he reunites back with Chris Sabin. They go to Ring of Honor, light that place up, and then they come back to TNA. They light the whole tag division back up again, especially with the Good Brothers. But seeing Alex Shelley as the world champion, it's very much like in one way it's like, yeah, it's awesome, and another time it's like, where's like kind of too little too late in a way. But as the show itself, it was pretty good. But where would I rank it? I would give it a high B as well. High B, close to an 8. And then around that time, that's when Scott D'Amore had made the announcement that Impact Wrestling was going to be dead and that there was going to be rebranding back to TNA. When that came out, I was so excited. Like, finally, away from this Impact Wrestling, we're getting back to TNA. Total non-stop action. That was great. And all the guys that they started showing up was just incredible. Especially with Nick Nemeth and everything. And having Matt Cardona back, it was great. And then they got rid of Scott D'Amore. What's going on? And then we go into Bound for Glory 2024. This one was good. It was really, really damn good. And the main event being with Nick Nemeth fighting Joe Hendry. It was good. Damn good. Where would I rank 2024's Bound for Glory? I put out a solid 8. Finally getting back to normal. Well, there you go. There you have it. All of the Bound for Glories. Bound for Glories and Starcades. All right here. All the way from the NWA, WCW, even WA, and TNA. All right here. So, hope y'all enjoyed this little series of the Bound for Glories and Starcade history. And tonight is going to be the 2025 Bound for Glory, the 20th anniversary of it. And the main event being Trick Williams of the WWF defending the TNA World Title against Mike Santana. But I'm pretty sure the show is going to be really good, especially going to be having the Hardy Boys fighting the Dudley Boys one last time in a TLC match. That's going to be good. The whole night's going to be good. I hope. So, let's all enjoy Bound for Glory tonight, everybody. And just appreciate the fact that TNA, after all these years, they just won't go away. And that's always for the good. Sometimes for the good, sometimes like this company could have and should have just died off. But I am very proud to say that TNA is still around. Even though they don't have many of the great stars that they used to have. But I am proud that TNA is still around. And for them being one of my favorite promotions of all time. And I'm very proud to say that. So, that being said, let's all enjoy Bound for Glory tonight. This is Dreck signing out. See y'all on the flip side.